Good day and welcome to another edition of Outside of Genie, where we'll be looking at the race meeting today, the 15th of November from Greyville, and again on the poly track. Just poly track all the time. But anyway, uh, before I start looking at the form and betting, just for the persons who are watching this video the first time, what Outsider Genie do is we do a form analysis, and through doing this form analysis, we then look for outsiders that you can include into your selections that you like. Um, we also give you free selections per race. The first one normally is the horse that we feel have got a good chance of winning this race, and that horse can be at any price. It is not necessary. It can be the favorite. It, maybe it's not a favorite. I have given outsiders as high as 50 to 1, 40 to 1 that has won. So it's not just the favorites that we tip for outright. We call it our outright selection. Then we have outsider selection. Those are the two outsiders per race in no particular order that we feel that they have got a decent chance of either winning or placing. A lot of our outsiders don't always win, but they do place, and sometimes paying as high as 9, 10 rand a place. Now you can imagine if you get an outsider coming in and you've got a quartet with a 10 rand a place, that's going to boost the dividend quite significantly. And then you'll be standing in a park, you laughing, collecting this nice dividend, thanking outsider Genie. And just for the purpose, we have got a lot of requests that people want us to do more, more deeper analysis of each race. But that's not always possible because otherwise the video gets too long and then people could start complaining against that. So what I do is I give my outside selection, my two outsider selections, and then I touch on one or two other horses in order to keep this video around half an hour. We also offer a subscription based analysis, a daily form analysis, which you can subscribe to. Normally it's 500 Rand a month, but we have got some nice specials going, and we can give you now a subscription for 250 Rand from now till the end of November. Included in that would be a video that I made about how to use Computaform. You will see I only use Computaform because I believe Computaform is the best tool. If you want to do a decent form analysis, you need to have the Computaform. Then I've got another special for 500 Rand where you sign up now till the end of December, and that I also include that same video, how to read Computaform, but I add in a second video that I made, punt to win, not punt to lose, which most of us do. And I can tell you now that the money and the value you're gonna get out of those two videos is gonna be far better than far more valuable than that you can ever have. I had various feedbacks from people. They say it is incredible the amount of information that I give in there, and already they are starting to punt more winners than losers. You will always punt the loser, horses that loses. I mean, that is a given. But some of the people that has done this, watched this video, have now started to use some of my advice, and they're finding that they are punting now more winners than losers, instead of punting more losers than winners. So please make use of that. Contact me on 083 585 5133. And everything I just told you now will be in the description below so that you can also get the information there. So let's kick off today's racing. Race 1 at Greyville on the poly. It's over 1,000 meters for fillies and mares. I did notice there's quite a number of races for fillies and mares, and fillies and mares to me always a bit of a scary situation because fillies and mares do tend to sometimes not run up to form because of various reasons and medical reasons, which I'm not going to go into that now. So let's have a look here on race 1, number 1, 7 to 10 set the date. Sweet Scented Green 28 to 10, 14 to 1 Miss Player, 16 to 1 Soweto Hall, 20 to 1 in Tombi, and 25 to 1 and longer the rest. So here we have number one. Comes from an ex-PE horse, but had strong form in PE. And then in his first race here, just ran a close, just got beaten by Hux Accepted. Mr. Hewitton still looking for his first winner. Wayna Grela on board, and I think looking at 7 to 10, and the horses in this field is not very strong, except for maybe the first time, but otherwise the form is not that great. Here we have number 10, and number 10 is, I think, they're going to be the strongest opposition to number one, and that's being ridden by Mr. Hewitton's son, Lyle Hewitton, but from draw 10. And I just feel, and I'm so glad to see that there is still some people who are loyal. I mean, Mr. Hewitton could have put his son on this horse, but Wayne Grella has ridden this horse 3 times, and I do think that that's appropriate that he gets the ride on this horse, seeing that he has already done the work on it. Well, outside of selections, I had a look at number 7, Mrs. Player. Gary Players, probably referral to his wife, I would think. This horse ran a fair first race, but last time I had faded a bit over the 1200 meters, now back over the 1000 meters, which I would think will suit the horse. Warren Kennedy for Gavin Van Zyl Sr. The stable is in form, so have a look out for number 7, Mrs. Player, to include in your play. And then here I've got number 11, Rose of India. Now, Rose of India is way down in the betting. Oh, it's 50 to 1. I don't say this horse can win. It's under form, it doesn't look possible. But I think going over the 1000 meters, you see this horse always go to the front. And this horse might land up in 3rd or 4th place. Now imagine a 50 to 1 shot coming into the quartet, and you're going to be standing in a payout queue laughing and thanking outside a genie. So chuck this into your quartet. Mr. Rock, I really hope he gets a winner sometime. He's got some of his horses is now not really competitive at the moment, but he really deserves to have a break, and maybe Rose of India can sneak into the back end of your quartets. So let's move on to race number 2. Here we have a maiden plate over 1400 meters, another fillies and mares event. Let's look at the betting. Here we have number 4, State of Mind, Gavin Van Zyl again, Warren Kennedy, 16 to 10, backstop 3 to 1, Diamonds and Toads, 9 to 2, 7 to 1, Prince Maxi, first timer. Megan 8 to 1, Perfect Display 13 to 1, 14 to 1 in Inogen, and 20 to 1 and longer the rest. So let's have a look here at the form. Again, I'm going to go for a favorite here because in this field, it looks like it has got the strongest form. Very nicely bred horse, I would think, and did run well last time behind Blue Winter. Was hanging in. Maybe Warren can sort out that little problem, and I think that from draw 4, State of Mind will be hard to beat in this field. Then for outside of I'm going again for Mr. Jared Ruck's horse. Has run some places over this distance, and last time I think the jockey just went too fast with this horse. I could see by the time they turned into the home straight, this horse is not going to keep on going. The jockey just went too fast. And I think today with Wayne Grella, much more experienced jockey, if you could save this horse up a little bit and then bring it in to run, I think this horse can give number 4 something to think about. And I really would be shouting this horse home for Mr. Jared Ruck. Outside of selections, another outside selection you can look at is number 9. Number 9 is Megan. Megan has had 3 runs and is improving nicely. Last 2 runs, both second fastest, 400 to finish. Sean Wheel on aboard, and also Megan can make a presence felt. Definitely not out of it. Unfortunately, 10 Wings of Fire is a scratching. So let's move on to race number 3, where we have another maiden plate for fillies and mares over 1400 meters. So let's have a look at the betting here. And here the betting is number 8, Winter Whistle, 5 to 2, Trip and the Stars, 5 to 2, Nirvana Gold, 28 to 10, Celtic Vision, 9 to 1, 10 to 1 Conquer the Field, 14 to 1 Flurry Socks, and Keely's Fate, 40 to 1 and longer the rest. When I did my selections, I noticed that they were betting 5 to 2 for the top three. So I see number 4 is number 8 is now since moved up to 5 to 2 with number 12. And I think those three horses, 8, 12, and 4, probably be fighting out the finish. And my choice is going for number 8, Winter Whistle. Number 8, Winter Whistle. Let's have a look here at the form. What a Winter by Fort Beluga will definitely be suited to the 1400 meters. Has run over that before, but and then over the 1600 meters, but faded a little bit. Now today going for the second time on the poly, where she ran 5 lengths behind Love Bomb. Now Love Bomb went on to win a future, and so that form is really strong. It's interesting to note that out of that race, this horse is the first runner out of this race because there hasn't been any runners from that race, and it's not often that you see that there's no runners. And I mean that was in March already, so that is interesting to note. Let us quickly have a look at that and see why. This is definitely interesting, which I only noticed now. So let's have a look there at form grids and see why is that. I haven't seen that for a while. We're now going to Greyville race 3. Greyville race 3. Let's quickly have a look there. Sorry guys, it's just something that I've noticed that I find interesting. We want to go down to number 8, Winter Weasel, and we want to have a look at that race. Love Bomb. No, you see, that is not right. Yeah, you see, there is the Love Bomb has won the future, and then Xavier of Grace. No, I mean, there was runners out of that race. Here we got Kinski Tune that ran second, and Emerald Flow second. Yeah, it's just a case of the Computaform not up to date. Winter Whistle was third there, and then ran a few places. So sorry about that. I just thought it very odd. Now I see the problem is lying with the Computaform, and to say that there's no runners out of that field. Anyway, so my choice, number 8, Winter Whistle. Outside the selection that we want to go for, Freddy Socks. This is a very weak field, and it's not a confidence that I give Freddy Socks, but I do feel with the Stratum on board, -4. He has ridden it twice, ran a third with it. That run there was quite significant, making up 6 lengths over the last 400 meters. But boy, if you look at this, 26.1 for the last 400 to finish, and he was the fastest 400 to finish. They did really go slow. I wonder if the track maybe was a bit sloppy or something like that. I don't know, but 20.6 is not, that's not fast. And then he ran again. I mean, there he ran in 25.4, which was an improvement. So Friendly Socks may definitely a horse that you want to include into your outsiders, into your selections. Then we have number 3, Celtic Vision. Again, not strong form, but did ran a useful race behind Spree. And the day Spree won, I actually thought that might be a nice field, but I see now there's 11 runners, no winners. But also keep in mind, when they say no winners, they work only with horses with the first run directly behind that. It might be that the has horses won, but they maybe won second run after running there, because I'm sure I have seen horses that has finished behind Spree that has won. Also, Walker Typhoon. Also, I think that is also going to be strong form. So number 9, Celtic Vision, definitely not without a chance. Yes, one of the other favorites, Nirvana Girl, has run a second and a second last time out. Both runs also improving, nicely drawn, and definitely not out of it. Then the other outsider favorite we want to look at, Trip and the Stars, Snave, Lyle Hudson, but wide draw number 12. That might be a bit of a problem, but has some useful races in Kenilworth. Now the first time on a poly, it's a trippy by Jared May, can also be involved, will definitely be involved in the finish. So let's now move on to the next race, which is race number 4, which is a merit rated 97 handicap, Class D, average merit rated 90. Here's the betting. Mount Anderson 12-5. For you that know, but I figured it out. That's 24-10. 33-10. Ralph the Rascal. Born to Perform 5-1. Baby Zeus 8-1. Petra 8-1. Drunken Sailor 10-1. 10-1. Frank Lloyd Wright 16-1. And longer the rest. Now let's look at race number 4. My first selection is number 7, which is Mount Anderson. He has run against a couple of these horses and has beat him. Last time out running and last 2 races running stronger opposition. Now a little bit down in class, back to the class that he has won against. That he's run before, and I do feel 7 Mount Anderson would have a huge chance in this race. Outside the selections in this race is this the stalwart number 2, Born to Perform. He always runs a good race, has run against some of the top horses in the country, and hasn't been disgraced. Distance 3 runs, 2 wins. Course and distance 2 run, 1 win. The only problem Born to Perform is that he always loses at the ground at the start, and that has cost him many a race. And I don't think today will be different. You know, this horse is already a 6-year-old. You're not going to teach him to jump now. So you must accept the fact that Born to Perform will be coming from behind, and that always makes it difficult to back him because you don't know how many lengths he's going to lose. Then Petra has won well last time out, beating Impressive Duchess a month or so ago, and I do feel that she has got a chance again and can definitely be involved in a finish. Just a few other horses I quickly want to touch on. I see Paul Matchett is here with a few horses from Gauteng. A lot of them don't have strong form, but they're going for the first time on the poly. And my advice to you, if you can afford it, just include the Paul Matchett runners in your quartet selections, because if they do place, they might not have winning chances. And not that I say they can't win, because Roy Tom on his day, if he want to run, he will beat this field, but his form is not inspiring. So if you can afford, do include in your play, or at least in your quartets and trifectas, because if they do place, you're going to be collecting. Here's Baby Shoes coming off a long rest, and has won well over the longer distance, now going over the 1400 meters, but has been placed over this distance. So can no, but maybe it's going to just need the run. Here's another something. Yeah, something interesting. Here's Toltec. Now Toltec used to be in Gauteng, and he didn't do too badly, and then he went to PE where he also run well, and now back in Gauteng, in KwaZulu-Natal. If you just look here, you'll see this horse has had 5 runs over this distance, and he's never been unplaced. Second, 2 first, second, the third, and the fourth. So definitely try also include Toltec in any quartets that you want to play. He might just pop up and surprise today. So let's move to race number 5, where we have a conditional progress plate, which I find difficult to understand how it's put together. Class C, Abbott Brennan rating 82, going over 1800 meters. And here we have the betting as follows. Number 3, Donald McDonald, even money. Electric Search 33-10. Karoo Lark 6-1. Run to Denmark 8-1. Silver Fox Dark 9-1. Elusive Swan 12-1. 18-1. Sunny Bull de Trois 18-1. Scratch number 2, Apache 2. So here here I'm going for here my selection is number 8. Silver Fox Dog. Guys, last time out, I did also preach this horse, but maybe the 1400 meter was a bit short. But that day that this horse won on the 1900 meters, I was really, really impressed because this horse was 11 lengths behind. And I remember the commentator say that, you know, he's 11 lengths behind and the jockey is working on the horse. And then when they hit the straight, he just came into the straight and he just ran away from them. I mean, that horse, that jockey put his hand down 100 meters in front of the winning post. He put his hand down. This horse won east up by nearly 4 lengths. And I do feel today over the 1900 meters, with this light made 54 minus 2.5, it's looking at 51.5. Um, the top weight, then the even money favorite, carrying 60. So it's nearly 10 kilograms, 9.5 kilograms, or 8.5 kilograms. And it can make a huge difference. Not that I say Donald McDonald cannot win. It definitely into the horse with the best form can win. But then, yeah, this is just my feeling that I think Silver Fox Dog is going to run a huge race today. I'm looking at the breeding, and I'm relatively sure of my case. And also other horses that you can have a look at is number 4, Electric Surge. It's also a nice, and then Robbie Hill is in stable, is in form. Has been off for 60 days, but did win well last time out, coming from behind. Fastest 400 to finish beating Scarlet Chill. Although Scarlet Chill hasn't done a lot to, since then. I think ran second or third last time out. Karwil Lark, I would think also in with a small chance. Sunny built a in May last year, around about 2018, this horse was a talking horse, and they were predicting a very big future for him. But then he got injured, and he had a long layoff from June 2018 to November 2019. And since then, he's just battling to get his form back. I see it's now of Cliffy Miller. Maybe Cliffy can do something that Alliston Wright couldn't do. I don't know. Run to Denmark also ran a useful race last time out and can maybe be involved in the finish again. So let's move on to race number 6, which is another fillies and mares race. Handicap 77 fillies and mares handicap class C. Average merit rating 74. Let's have a look at the field, at the betting. Here we have, and I think this might be probably the most open race on the card. Here we have number 12, Marilyn Carolina, 12 to 5. Sea Venture 15 to 4. Lady Lou 15 to 2. Cramera 15 to 2. 10 to 1. Isla Morada 10 to 1, 11 to 1, Burn Jasper, all together, Lovey, 13 to 1. Voice of Reason, 13 to 1. Guadalupe, 20 to 1. 20 to 1, Kathy Chatty, and longer the rest. Now, when I look at this field, and I came across, and I had a look at this horse, number 3, Guadalupe. And then I did check the betting before I started, but I mean, I didn't go in detail. And I look at the form, and when I had a look at the betting, and I was looking for a horse here that, around about the top here. And then I found Guadalupe here at 20 to 1, and I couldn't believe my eyes because this horse form isn't that bad. And this is my outsider that I want to give you today. This horse has made a stable change recently to Gavin van Zyl Jr. But I don't know if you're aware of it, that Gavin van Zyl won with the first runner that he sent out for Mr. Ferreira. And if you have a look at this race, it is a AR74, and I just got a feeling if you have a look at this horse has been running on well in these races. Third fastest, first fastest, second fastest. And I've just get a feeling that the 1900 meters, looking at this breeding, a Vaal by a Badgerland mare, this distance is surely going to suit this horse. And from draw 3, I think this horse has got a really good chance. Even if he doesn't win today and even runs a place, it will still pay well. So definitely a horse that you need to follow. I really do feel that the distance today was going to suit this horse. There the horse ran over the 1700 meters, also fastest 400 to finish. You can see this horse runs on from behind, and I think from draw 3 today, definitely Guadalupe, I do feel in with a huge chance. My outsider selections, number 4, Isla Morada, also runs well. Always there and there about 3 links, 2 links, 3 links. Just got beaten there by Dark Moon Down, which won since again. Arizona Sunset, Kathy Chatty. So this horse is always there and there. Today it's get Muzi Yeni on board. From draw 4, I do believe a huge runner. Then my other outsider selection is number 8, and that is Voice of Reason. And Silvana by Al Mufti, by the mare is Valdivino, has bred some huge runners, and I do think the 1900 meters is going to suit this horse, and didn't run too bad, although 4 links behind Darkman down. But I do think Voice of Reason today might be an improver and can be involved in the finish, maybe a finish between father and son involved. So let's move on to race number 7, which is a merit rated 80 handicap, Class B, average merit rating 83 over 1200 meters. And here today, the betting is as follows: 22 to 10, Letalba, Kaysen 5 to 2, Wolfgang 11 to 2, Diamasa 11 to 2, 10 to 1 into the future, 12 to 1, Vaal, Agent Murphy, 12 to 1, 16 to 1, Cumulus, and Herzog 22 to 1. Now here my first selection is number 3, Kaysen. The Kaysen last time out carried 53.5 minus 2.5. He only got penalized 3 points, is 1.5 kilograms. And I do feel on this weight, Kaysen today will be also involved in the finish. Although it's the first time on the poly, but looking at a breeding shouldn't be a problem. And I think Kaysen today, a huge runner, my best bet of the day. Then outside the selections is number 5. Yamasa. This horse absolutely loved the poly going. Has had 8 course and distance, 4 wins, a second, a third, and a fourth. Getting the -4. Did run on last time behind Wiz of Oz, and I'm sure we'll be there when the photos are taken. And then my other outsider selection is number 8. Is Agent Murphy. Lyle Hewitson on board. And I do think Agent Murphy will also appreciate the poly, has also run well on this course and distance, and I do feel Agent Murphy from a 54 today can be involved in the finish. I just want to mention another horse in this race, please, number 10. Where's this horse now? Number 2, Hertog. This horse has got dismal form, really. But today, the first time over the poly, and has got his Calvin on beep on board. He is well known for winning with long shots. So if you can afford today, chuck this horse into your quartets and trifectas. Only carrying 53 from draw 4 2. And our first time on a poly can cause a huge upset. Then we move to race number 8, which is another fillies and mares handicap, 75, Class C, average merit rating 73. Here we have another open race, 5 to 2, you accepted, 11 to 2, Glitter and Gold, Matadora's Parade 6 to 1, Wild in Love 7 to 1, Magic Lee 7 to 1, Ginger Biscuit 8 to 1, Her Royal Majesty 9 to 1. Ariano Spinner 14 to 1 and 25 to 1 and longer. Now in this race, we have a strong form line here, and this form line is this form line behind Nashiva. Now you'll see already 3 runs, 1 winner out of that. Now a number of horses in this race has run in that form line. Number 2, Matadora's Parade. Number 3, Her Royal Majesty. And when you go down here, you'll find Ariana Spinner ran in that race. Wild in Love ran in that race. And Magical Lee ran in that race. Now, my choice in this field is number 3, Her Royal Majesty. This horse is getting the -4 today. She always goes to the front. And with the -4 today, maybe hard to catch. She was, of the lot, she was 5 lengths behind 12. But I think today from draw 3, there she was draw 10. And I think that was a problem. There again, draw 13. But this horse is run against 85s as well, 86, 83. And I'm sure this horse is going to go to the front. But the interesting thing is that this horse is now with with Matadora's Pride, has got a 7 kilogram turnaround in weight. And also she's got a weight turnarounds of all of these horses that ran in the field, being that today she's ridden by a apprentice jockey. And also the merit rating was brought down from 77 to a 73. This Roy's horse at one stage was 93. Now a 77, getting the -4. I think Royal Majesty is going to skip and go, and it's going to say, try and catch me if you can, because from draw free, it wouldn't be too difficult. If you just look here, and I know maybe, it's a long time ago and so on, but yes, you ran against a horse called Sing for Rafa. If I can quickly just jog your memories, Sing for Rafa won a future yesterday at Terfontein. And I think you put Sing for Rafa on this field, she'll kill it. She'll kill them by 10. No problem. So, and here this horse has been Yas. Yas is no donkey. Candy Galore, also a good horse. Lanier, also a good horse. And I think rather ignore that run last time out. I think today Royal Majesty will be definitely in the firing line. In my outsider selections here is number 2, Matadora's Pride. I do like it, and I do feel will run a huge race again. And in my other outsider selection is also a horse that was involved in the same form line, number 12, Magically, getting the -2.5 again. This horse as a very constant runner. I know that breeding Lee Danzig has thrown quite a few uh, horses, and a lot of them were sprinters. And I think Magical Lee will definitely be there when the photos are taken. So let's now move down to race number 9, which is a qualified maiden plate. And let's have a look at the betting. Guys, I can tell you that it's not often, and I have the biggest respect to the trainers and owners of this races, but really the form in this race makes it hard to find a winner, because some of these horses have form, and those who has a little bit of form is not the type of form that you would really back with confidence. So here we have Iron Henry 3-1, McMillan 3-1, Darkest Dawn 7-2, Red Hot Night 6-1, Rocket Rumba 12-1, Precious Love 12-1, Glory and Sunshine 12-1, and 22 and longer the rest. Yeah, and a lot of time spent on this maiden plate. I came to make the selection of number 4, Red Hot Night. Already a 5-year-old me, um, but has some run some useful races in the past, and I'm just going for a Warren Kennedy drawn 4, and looking at some of the races this horse has run, but over longer distances now, bringing it over to back over at 1100 meters. I don't know if that will suit the horse, but you have to make a selection, and that is not a so confident selection. Number 4, Red at Night. Outside the selections, I'm going for number 10, Precious Love. Getting the -2, has had some, has been there and thereabouts. I think can improve. And my other outsider selection is number 12, Glory and Sunshine. Might also be a horse that can improve, but also not a very confident selection. Yes, number 11, McMillan, also with some of a bit of form, and with Lyle Hewitson drawn 11, definitely I think one of the horses they need to beat as well. So all in all, a difficult race for the last race. I hope I could point you in the right direction, and that you can find a few winners. And as I always say, break a leg.